great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision Bill Fisher. Their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicky Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical. Our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them, and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes in Training podcast. I'm going to be your host for this episode. Who am I kidding? Race bar's on. There's no host. Who's going to try to fight off race bar with me?
Impossible.
True. Anybody? Anybody? Am I by myself?
That's right.
Outnumbered.
I am outnumbered as well. The silent majority who's on my team who aren't apparently going to help me with the race bar are Jen and Vicky.
Jennifer.
Hello. How are you, everybody?
We must interject at this point that Race Bar does own Winsome Racing and Garage Heroes and Mess Racing.
Hot Mess Racing.
Yes, we own all
Hot Mess
three.
Racing.
We actually own your last car, your E36.
Garage Heroes was the first one that wasn't a hostile takeover, though. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just say hi in the beginning and then race bar talks for the rest of the episode.
So are you saying there's been a hostile takeover of our team?
Bill made horrible agreements at the race. So,
race
yes.
bar, the
Did I?
complete. Like that's a binding contract. So we're
Did I?
Yeah.
I'm coming for the truck. I loved it so much. The truck
did
was
love that truck.
fabulous.
All right. We'll
you
get
didn't get the best of the truck.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He got the truck.
I brought it back with the brake smoking. It was fine.
Yeah,
Trust me, you haven't
you
driven
end
the
up
truck
getting
until it comes back with brakes on fire.
You end up getting the trash version before you took it out on the back. It's deceiving. It's a deceiving vehicle.
Hey, let's pretend we're going to do an introduction, shall we?
That sounds great. Okay, all right. Let's go.
I'm Ron Mexico.
Ron Mexico,
no.
Jeff Caplan. We got Jandy, Daddy, James Webb, not the telescope.
Yes.
We got Patrick McHugh, who saved our butts many times over the weekend at Charlotte.
I'm a fan. I'm a
She
big
is.
fan of Patrick's right
I
now.
think she's got a crush on you, by the way.
No, I don't have a crush. I just have a huge fan on his knowledge right now.
It's pronounced Dick Freelane.
That's right. Richard Freelane, his friends call him Dick, but they called him that before his name was Richard.
Oh yes.
And then we have a new race bar team member. Her name shows as Pineapple. I hear her real name or her mother's preference might be Kaitlyn. I'm not sure. Hello.
Maybe.
Caitlin, what is your last name?
Morgan.
Morgan. Caitlin
Okay.
Morgan.
Caitlyn
Okay.
Pineapples Morgan or Kaitlyn Morgan Pineapples. Or,
Her first name is Pine. Her last name's Apples.
that's right. How convenient that is.
Welcome,
Well,
everybody.
Thank you.
I will say, in spite of Jeff's attempts, you are by far the prettiest race bar member on the show today. And from some of the videos that Jeff was showing before we got on here,
Jeff Caplan right now is wearing a blonde curly wig
Yes.
on his Zoom.
Yes.
No, it's Ron Mexico.
Oh, it's Ron. It's Ron Mexico if he's drinking, right?
No,
Wig
there's
on
two,
Ron Mexico.
they're two entirely different people.
Okay.
Yes,
Don't
they
get them.
they just look similar.
Yeah.
There's the
and-
video for you.
And
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. So
And-
apparently Ron Mexico is a big fan of Basic Instinct and
Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone
famous.
and yeah.
All the thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am
Okay.
jumping ahead a little bit, but
Why not?
at Charlotte,
Yes.
Jeff Caplan was trying to shut the party down at night. He came up and was complaining something about security. The party's over.
I didn't
music
realize
down.
what Peckerhead Porsche owner was telling me. I didn't realize he was that. I thought he was like important.
And And Jeff Caplan stepped away, and 5 minutes later, Ron Mexico returned with the wig and everything. And Ron Mexico came in and cranked the music up and said, "Let's party!" Wow!
Starts pouring Moscow mules everywhere.
Two entirely different people.
Turn the
Yes.
snow machine back on.
Yes. So let's pretend. Oh, who are we kidding? Everybody who's ever met you knows you and runs. So let's introduce the weekend. So we're going to Charlotte. Our team is overworked and underpaid. We're ready to go down there. We're ready to race on this big oval track. We're ready to go hit this oval. We're ready to race at Lucky Dog because our cars are usually pretty good. We're driving down there. We know this is a tough track. It's got tight turns. It's got fairly unforgiving walls, which we proved one time. And we're fine. Everything's good. We're going ready to leave. It's Wednesday morning. We're leaving. I get an email that says, "Oh, here's your garage paddock appointments." I look at the email and I'm like, race bars next to us.
All around you.
We're so screwed. So the only intimidating part about the weekend was trying to survive a weekend with race bar right next to us. And,
Right.
Do you know?
Just so you know, the group chat kind of got very excited when we found that out, that we were next
Oh,
to
really?
How about the night before, though? Before you even got to the race?
you. Yeah.
When
that's
we
true.
rolled in on you.
we
It was
did.
kind of by design, because we were talking with Kathy, and she was mentioning all the teams that were at this race, and she said, "Oh, and Garage Heroes in Training is there. You might know them." And I said, "Oh, no way! We love them. They're like our best friends." And she's like, "Oh, we'll put you next to them."
No wonder she gave us that weird look when she
and of
pulled
course
in. She's
Bill
like,
is
"Who are your friends?"
He's like, "I'm not scared of the racetrack. I'm scared of race bar."
The endurance is not the driving part. The endurance is surviving the non-driving part with race bars in town.
So do you think Kathy got a dose of what she expected, or do you think we undersold us?
I think you were actually
Mild.
relatively, COVID-ish
Yeah.
for race bar. I mean,
Yeah.
I think she had a really good time. I think she really enjoyed.
Yeah. And
did.
we've been to
3.
we've been to 3 total, or
Yeah.
two for sure, that
3.
were out on the West Coast, and they are a mild crowd. They are. It's like, we are gonna party. Next thing you know, 10 o'clock, everybody's buttoned up and in bed. So it's like party at the barbecue, and
That's it.
Well, that was going on at the race. It was maybe 10 p.m. Andy. That was going on, and we went to all the way to the end of the garages where all those go-kart guys were, and there was like massive electrical panels, like triple phase, gigantic,
like 6
panel,
feet tall panels,
like big,
like 5 of them.
big like warning signs, like "Don't even go near this thing." And
Oh,
we opened the thing up, and we one by one turned off the lights.
Every single breaker in the entire building, we turned on and off.
Turn on off. Like all the hard drives are crashing for Charlotte Motor Speedway, their server room. But we finally got the one that was right over race bar. So we had this little island of darkness around race bar, so all the laser lights and the snow things could kind of shine around.
I think there were cheers down that direction when we finally got the right breaker.
As soon as it went dark over there, you just heard everyone screaming. Whether good or bad.
Oh, no, I think she got a taste of,
In a
lemon.
good way.
Lemons in a
taste
good
of race
way.
bar. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she knows.
I think the
lemons.
Lucky Dog race was awesome. I really
It was.
think it was
Yeah.
just fantastic. And Champ Car has its ups and downs. Lemons has its ups and downs here and there, but Lemons is awesome. But the Lucky Dog was a whole different experience, and I really liked it.
Mhm.
Very clean racing.
Yeah.
Great drivers out there. A lot of courtesy. Even the 997.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone was kicking butt out there. It was great.
It's really interesting in talking with Kathy, and I know you guys know her better, but she started with Lemons and then worked with Champ Car when they were starting, and so she's been with both organizations kind of from the beginning, and she's taken all of that knowledge, and I think she's made like a hybrid racing league that is the best of both worlds.
Oh yeah.
And it's so awesome to see, because it's everything that I think that we've always wanted in racing.
Mm-hmm.
Except it's on the West Coast.
Loose and fun with courtesy driving and some serious racing.
Yeah, it was cool. I like
it. Well, the serious racing, whatever. We're not really good at that, but but I think where my favorite part of what we do is the teams that we make, and the pit lane experience that you get with Champ Car is awesome because you get your whole crowd down there, and when that car comes in, everybody gets a part to play, and you get to do a little performance right there, and it's really cool to have everybody have a piece in that puzzle and to kind of work together as a team. And Lemons, unfortunately, just doesn't have that. So it's really neat to see that they've taken that from Champ Car and they've put that in the Lucky Dog.
So, as you guys know, since you were parked next to us, we weren't out there very long for most of the days. But there's a Lucky Dog tradition that at the end of the race, everybody goes out and applauds and waves to the drivers as they go by, right all the way at the edge of the track, like not at pit lane, but all the way out. I don't think we did it at Charlotte, but
no. They asked her about that, and she's like, "Oh no!"
Not with race bar here. but there's this balance. If all the guys and girls are out there, clapping and high-fiving right at the thing and waving to the drivers, and the drivers are trying to get as close as possible to the wall. So you literally have cars going by at 110, 120 miles an hour with their wing like 3 inches away from you where you're clapping.
That's awesome. Champ Car does that as well, and you get goosebumps standing out there. You see everybody come by and they're honking the horns, they're flashing their lights, and it really kind of hits home. After 8 or 16 or 24 hours of racing, at the end of that, when you see all those cars going by and all that hard work, and it's kind of like this awesome feeling comes over you, and then they go by and you're like, oh shit, it's over. Wow, all that time and money. Oh God, back to real life.
Well, what's nice about Portland is that they had the hot pit right there, and then your tent is along pit wall, but you had enough room because it was also in the parking lot ish that you can actually pull your car right around on the other side of the wall if you had any issues, but then you can also jump and do the fast stuff, so you didn't have to have 2 stations for your tool.
It's not if, it's when your car has issues.
Speaking of that, I think Ron Mexico has a whole plan for you guys.
I know, but before we get to the plan,
sorry, wow,
we know Dick Freelane, we know Ron Mexico.
Jim, there's
Jandy.
core play, there's foreplay, and then we get to
things. On that topic,
you didn't read the book, did you?
Jeff has a book he's been reading that he's an expert at. I think he's going to tell you about it here.
Let me go and do the safe here. And
you should be. How much cash is in that safe?
Oh, you want to see the cash first, or you want to see the book?
It's not a video podcast, so
For all you listeners out there.
Ron Mexico has a big bushy wig. He's sitting in his workshop.
This is the money that I'm going to be paying Bill. It's all counterfeit.
I don't know what you're paying me for, but thank you.
There's a 4-inch thick stack of $100 bills he just flashed in front of us.
That's awesome.
Now everybody knows that he's got a safe.
Yeah. He's got a safe full of fake money.
It's the only money he has left.
This is what we keep in there.
He's going through it.
He comes.
Okay.
Let us read a chapter.
No, I think we will. Pineapple safe.
I do have to say, when we were.
I thought I read one to you, Vicky.
When we were on our way over from the campground to the racetrack, he handed me a radio. Jeff Caplan did, and he started doing these thoughts by Jeff, and
those were Dick Freelane.
Ron.
That was me.
Me. Oh, was it?
While I was driving.
Story time. I was cracking up.
Wait, you heard that?
I did. Somebody handed me a radio. I was dying.
That was my Richard Freelane soliloquy of a lonely race car driver on the highway.
People worry me.
Oh my gosh, it was awesome.
Very insightful.
In between, I read a chapter from She Comes First, though.
Excellent. All right, we'll put a link to the
put a link
Jeff,
to the book.
put a link to Jeff's literary selection for the episode.
Amazon.com, everybody.
Courtesy of Dick Freelane, of course,
That's right.
through James Webb, who didn't even read it. So
there was no
I loved
pictures,
it.
so he was lost.
oh, there's pictures. You want to see some pictures?
Diagrams.
No, we're good. No
Yeah,
pictures.
I'll play you
It's
one.
actually it's not fingers. It's both together.
Put that thing away. Pineapples, why are you with these guys? What's going on? There's got to be a story.
Yeah.
I don't know
Pineapples?
sometimes.
Kaitlyn, how do you fit in with this group?
My sister brought me into it.
So we should blame her?
Yes.
Do you not get along with your sister? Is there a problem there?
Well, we didn't at first, but Race Bar brought us together, ironically.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you went so far, it came back around to getting along.
Yes.
Okay.
She started racing with them. And what are you?
Apparently, FDR is making an appearance on our podcast.
That was Dick Freelane.
A new deal. Oh, sorry.
So you are a teammate? Are you a racer or race training?
In training.
Oh, we know a team just like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
We like that.
Kaitlyn had her first track experience at NC Car a couple months ago, right?
Yep.
Was that in Andy's E90 zooming around?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was amazing. I've heard people be like, "Oh, be careful, because once you start, it's addictive."
Yeah.
And I was like, "This is." I got off and immediately was like, "Well, there goes my money."
Yeah.
The hook is set, shall we say?
The road college student is now racing.
You think you're gonna drive race bar at some point?
I would love to.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We gotta get you on the track.
You guys need
I
some
think
more
I'd like
females
to
on
get
your
an
team.
HPE under
Yeah.
my belt.
Yes.
Yeah. I know a couple instructors. Jimbo, Ron Mexico,
Yes. And we have Myron and Elazar in training and waiting.
Dawson.
And Giggles is instructor.
Giggles is an instructor. We own her. Yes.
We own her.
So pineapples. I would recommend, if you're going to go down the path, get the Jeff Caplan version of trainer, not the Ron Mexico version.
Yeah, I'll take that into consideration.
Okay.
She's been in the car with me. She enjoys the Ron Mexico slide.
This is the same Ron Mexico. We were in Charlotte. We were talking on the radios in the middle of the rain at Charlotte, and Ron's like, he comes up behind. I'm in Race Bar. He's in Fred Lobster. He comes up behind me, and he's like, he passes me. And then he like spins out right in front of me and just like, and then go around, and he eventually gets out of the black flag and comes back up behind me again. Or he gets in front of me. He's like, "Hey, try to pass me," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to." And then he made me pass him, and the whole time we're like bantering back and forth on the radio. It's probably why he's wiped out. He's trying
My favorite Ron Mexico on track story was at VIR when he drove with another team and drove with Race Bar. And he got in Race Bar, and he spun the team he was driving with. He hit their car and spun it, a Porsche Boxer.
The day before.
He ripped the bumper off Race Bar, and then he gets in and then he switches cars, and I get in Race Bar, and he's in the Boxer, and he flies past me at the end of the straightaway, flips me off as he drives past me, misses his braking point at the end of the straight, drives off the track.
And
I see him just bounding through the dirt.
Diana, apparently, she's the timer up in the control tower, and Rick is in turn one of the flaggers. And she calls down because she doesn't recognize. She knows Race Bar cars, but she has no idea why this person in the Boxster flipped off Race Bar. So Rick is telling me the story later that what is wrong with that Boxster? What is going on? And Rick just reports back, "Oh, that's just Race Bar on Race Bar. No big deal. Don't worry about it."
Race bar on race bar.
No black flags whatsoever. 6th gear flat out in a Boxster. It does not brake at brake zone 3 to make the turn. Does not.
So, guys, how do you think the race went for you guys in Charlotte?
It was our best race of all time.
Get out.
Based on our entertainment, that's all it is.
We had a great time. The racing was great. It was just awesome. We like being by you guys, and a much calmer environment with only 22, 23 cars on the track. 19
total. Yeah.
on the track. That was pretty chill, and it was just a great success. The whole thing.
Can I tell you, I have something to talk about with Garage Heroes. I learned what your team is, and it's awesome. And it was a journey for me.
That was a false advertising.
No, that was the chicken bruschetta.
Every meal was fantastic. Thank you.
Our food game is strong.
Jen, we have 47 highlights from this race, and your food is on here as one of these,
like twice,
several times.
I will say, Race Bar. Not that Jen didn't do a fantastic job at this race. Usually, we actually have time to plan the food and like execute the food, and Vicky and Jen and Kate and sometimes more. So this was probably the minimum that we'll do for a race. So if you come find us.
You mean you guys had? You mean minimum is like prosciutto and cheese and like a little thing to keep the flies out?
Cheese and crackers
that's
for nibbling.
Listen, I don't look like a hand-cooked tire for nothing here.
We went to an HPDE. We were just handing out popsicles to everybody.
That's a great idea.
We have a master plan, and I think it's involving Ron Mexico getting your cars ready to go and you cooking for us. And
the cooking is standard. We just need to know a head count. That's all we need.
Yeah. Cooks we have.
I can't even tell you how badly we want a dedicated cooks that just want to cook food.
We don't just want to cook food.
Race cars. Boom.
Yeah, we have dedicated cooks. They just never go to the race at the last minute.
Oh my gosh! And it's just so funny when you wake up and see Jeff Caplan hanging outside the trailer with just a fork.
Have I been to my private
coffee? We got a coffee pot. We had such a good time next to you guys.
It was awesome.
It was cool to see some neat stuff. You guys had an unfortunate little wipeout with the car, but when I saw it happen, you guys pulled up. You got out of the tow truck, Jen, and Bill. You ran up. You just gave her a huge hug. You were like, "It's okay. Just let's go sit down. It's fine." And we've seen the flip side of that before. People like saying, "Well, what'd you do to my car?" The second the person gets out and stuff, and that was just so cool to see.
I'm not gonna lie, I got kind of goosebumps when it happened, and we were kind of working on our car. I saw the car out of the corner of my eye. I saw it roll up, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be interesting. We'll see what happens." And so I had an ear tuned in to what was happening, and when first thing I heard was, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And then I saw you give Jen a big hug.
Not too hard though. Not too hard.
And then shortly after, you're on your phone looking to find a new car. You're like, "Nope, we're moving on." It's no big deal. We're moving on. And that right there, I know that probably seems very normal for you guys, and it probably does for a fairly decent amount of teams out there. But your priority is your team and not the cars.
Mm-hmm.
Rebuild cars, you can't rebuild a team. And that was so telling about who you guys are as a team. I thought it was just an amazing experience.
Super cool.
Well, you've seen our cars, so they're not the priority.
No, we try so hard. We really do.
I think we went into it, just really hard, and it was like, okay, let's back up a little bit. So we've really been trying to do a lot of training. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So, and it's been, just building our team, and connecting with each other. So, and we're family, so that helps too. So it works.
Yeah. When they say that lemons will let anybody race, we tested that. And
somewhere somebody said, "Oh, this was a good idea," and we just went with it.
We were actually more concerned also about Jennifer not wanting to race after that.
And I did have those feelings because when I got back, I'm like, look, this is the second car.
Right.
Yeah, but none of them were good.
You guys saw what happened in Loudon. I think you were there for Loudon when she got pinched, and then two cars kind of played ping pong with her in between, and lost the hood, and the hood went up, and the car got. And that was like, it's not about the car. And I just looked at her. I'm like, I don't want you to stop racing. Please don't stop racing. I don't want to do this without you.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Ron Mexico does have a plan for you guys. And
no.
You will. The truck will be faintly what's the words? Recognizable? Is that the right word? When we get done?
There's been an update to the truck since you last saw it.
The scheme is really nice though. Like you put a lot of work in the
But I
vinyl
think we need
wraps
some
and the
palm
paint.
trees.
I can fix it.
But that we can do.
There'll be some AstroTurf added.
We can get it. We can get something that looks good.
Yeah, we just got to get the run good.
The truck will run great.
I had a huge aha moment about your team this weekend, and so it started with, every time I see that truck on the track, it's really never going that fast. It's just kind of going around circles, and I've always wondered, I'm like, well, that car it looks awesome, looks like a lot of fun, but it's so slow, and it's not really doing a whole lot. And Ron Mexico gets out of the truck after driving it, and his eyes are just wide-eyed, and he is like, that truck is so fast. It was awesome.
It's our skill level. It's because we're in training. We're not comfortable with that
but
yet.
I realized, and I tied together what happened earlier with the hug with Jen and the and then seeing you like broken continuously and just always working on stuff, and like you're never upset. Like you're just like, we're doing it. We're here. We're doing it.
We're actually wondering why you've given up. We're like, fix the car. Let's go.
And I realized I had this huge aha moment. It didn't happen completely until Ron got out of the truck. And he's like, this truck is really fast. And I realized you guys are journalists of life. You are there for the adventure, and you're just living life in the moment, having a great time. And it doesn't matter the outcome, what happens. You're there.
We'll get there. We will get there.
It's so refreshing. It's awesome. And
well, that's it's the race car spirit, and that's why we like you guys. Is you're running a different race out there, right? Like all the other cars are running one race, and you're on a completely different.
There's no racing for us. We're just trying to get better.
We're there.
No,
Bill
will get there.
Bill has a theory.
I have a theory.
Good time,
So the theory is, if we came to the race to win, we would bring different drivers.
Who's trying to win a race that you win a trophy the size of this mouse? Who cares?
Well, Bill always says too that if we come in 50, like whatever races is, if we hit 50% of whatever that is, that's a goal for us, and then we'll just go from there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get you the trophy that you want. I'll be right back. In all my underwear.
Why do I have a feeling this trophy is going to be flesh colored and flaccid? My.
Yeah.
We had some other cool stuff happen in our race that I thought was really cool. So we're sitting in the pit. I watched this happen, and towards the end of middle of the day on Sunday, and we had just fueled up the cars, and they went out on track. And Katie, who's Kaitlyn's friend, who comes along to the events with us, was like, "How much gas do we have left?" And I was like, "I don't know." And people started walking around, lifting up cans, and realized that we had no gas left. Like if the cars came in one more time, we were going to be completely out of fuel. And so Katie was like, "We need to go to the gas station now." And we like loaded up on gas, and then the car blew up.
And what was really cool about that is so Katie was like, she's one of those people who come because they want to participate, but they don't really know how, so they're just kind of there helping where they can. And
she should be on our team.
She found her moment to shine, and it took some thought because there's no gas. We need gas. We need a truck, so she went and found some keys and stole a truck, and she had to load the cans onto the truck. She had to make it there before the car got back, so she figure out when the car was coming back, and had to make it all happen. And she got back just in time, and the gas cans were unloaded. She had helpers, and
girl.
Yes, she's in the team.
We talked about it on the drive home actually, because before we went to the race, this was like her first race with Race Bar, and she was like, I'm not going to help with it. I don't know if there's anything that I can do. And I was like, that's how I felt when I first joined Race Bar. I don't know anything about cars. I don't know anything about racing. I'm zero help. I'm just here to party and have fun. And little did I know I'd be running around learning about different tools and grabbing tools for people and making food for people. I was like, you will find your place. And she did. And I'm glad that she did.
Really cool.
I tell you, the greatest help to any team, especially, a new person, especially that's not driving, just wants to get to know, is honestly garage management.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is being there. Like these
organization.
guys are got their head in the garage, and if you're just behind them and you're collecting tools when that car's back out, and you put everything back again, and you start getting familiar with the tools themselves. I mean, that's. I mean, I was driving, but that's how I started getting really, really used to working on cars. Was working in the garage.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like an apprenticeship.
That's why we have a drawer.
That's actually a really good point, because we had a few people. We had at least another person that was new who came out with us, and this is actually a funny story. He came and he actually drove with us, and I thought that he knew other people on the team, because he's like, yeah, I was hanging out at the last race, and it turns out like we kind of nobody really knew him, and
asking who the hell is this guy?
He's been in our group chat for 6 months now.
Yeah.
We're all just
During a Zoom meeting, I was like, who is that?
But he was, you could see when he was around, he was trying to help, and he just didn't know what he could do. And it's a good lesson for anybody who's trying to get into this. If you just show up with a team and you just observe, just try not to get in the way, but observe. And don't be afraid if you see something that needs to be done, like, hey, can I get some gas for you guys? Or, hey, are you guys hungry? Or do you need anything up at the, just try to find places where you can get involved. It's
or like
you don't have everything figured out.
Whatever you do, don't come up and be like, what can I do to help? Like, just watch a person who's doing something and then come up next to them and start doing that same thing too. And that's the best thing, because oftentimes we don't even know what we need. We're just under the hood trying to figure stuff out.
That's the crazy thing is about when you're at a race, there is, if you're sitting down, you're not doing something that needs to get done, or you're just taking a break. There is always something to do, always something to do. Break time is kind of like Saturday night, or Friday night. But when that race is going on, there is always something to do. And it's just a matter of, even if you're not doing something, you can throw stuff down and start getting the oil up off the ground, sweeping stuff up.
Oil?
But yeah.
Oil on the ground? What?
When did that happen?
Yeah, that's ours. That's ours. So what are some what were some of the highlights of your weekend?
We have 47 of them.
You do one. You do one next.
47?
We have 47 highlights.
I would still vote number one is security waking Kathy up.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Looked like spring break on MTV in the garage.
She said it was MTV Spring Break live in the garage. That's what security said.
He heard
that's just
nothing.
race car.
Made her get out of her Hello Kitty pajamas.
I think what they were describing was the snow machine and the disco lights were going and the music was blasting.
Or maybe the donuts with the
go-kart
go-kart.
in the garage.
We had like 3 inches of foam on the ground around the whole area in the garage.
Yeah.
And the next day we got scolded by Kathy, and she came up and said, I was woken up by security in the middle of the night. They said that race bar had turned into an MTV music party. There was foam everywhere. The garage is wrecked. And Ron Mexico goes, Kathy, that was soap. We were cleaning the floor.
My God.
What goes at race bar stays at race bar.
Kind of. That's a great area.
One of my kind of fun little adventures was my wife's cousin had brought some kids' clothes out that I had to bring back. That was the only reason I was allowed to go to Charlotte.
Was that what you were wearing?
And,
The orange shorts.
They're tiny.
so she came, and she was a little nervous, so she brought a friend to back her up, and they got there, and they were just like wandering, trying to soak everything in, and I'm trying to explain to them what this is and who we are and what we're doing.
Staying 20 feet away the entire time.
They were like really concerned. They're like, what is this? But they were really sucked into it. And almost immediately I said, hey, do you guys want to see a man in a van down by the river? And they're like, what? And I was like, you gotta come see this. And so we wandered through the RVs like a little maze, and they're following me, wondering where we're going. And hidden back behind the RVs, there's a minivan, and there's a naked mannequin strapped to the back of the minivan, staring into it. And I opened the door, and in the minivan there's this giant air conditioner, and they're like someone's been living, and there's like clothes everywhere, and there's like just stuff in there, and sure enough, there's a Dick Freelane just laying there sleeping in the minivan in the middle of the day.
It was the best nap ever.
And I was like, look, Exhibit A. I opened the door, and the door opens, and they're like, what? And then I close the door closes.
This is Race Bar.
Race bar cold like that though. Could you imagine going back in time when you didn't even know what it was and then being like dragged into it suddenly? Like, it can be a little overwhelming. There's just so much stuff going on. There's a lot of orange shorts running around that shouldn't get a race car.
Yeah, I think that I don't know if Lucky Dog really understood the whole concept of race bar. It was like there's a whole bunch of guys running around in really tiny shorts.
Those orange shorts actually made the security report on Members Day at VIR.
Really?
Somebody actually complained about Andy's shorts when we were there.
We'll get you a pair. They're very like wearing those shorts.
They're nice.
Like,
No.
freeing.
No.
Like,
Sadly, we won't get you a pair. They don't make them anymore. I can't even tell you. I've tried to replace them. Today, I just received in the mail the women's version of the shorts,
Not the same.
and they're not the same material. We will never find a replacement as good as those shorts.
Well, I'm just gonna wear mine the rest of my life then until they shred and fall off my body.
Don't lose them. I only have like 4 pairs left.
There's something very freeing about wearing those shorts. I don't know what it is, but like
It's like
I
a
don't-
race bar kilt.
You can't wear
Yes. Yes. They're so comfortable. I can't even tell you how awesome they are.
They're comfortable for you.
Well, when you're so big, it's hard to wear them. We understand.
Yes. Luckily, when it's a cold race, it's fine. But
Highlight number 42
Okay.
for rectal use stickers everywhere. Pineapples, why don't you tell us about that?
And they're so small and so
Yes.
tiny and so subtle.
You don't see
Subtle.
it.
The place that I work at an airport, and the mechanics out there are very interesting people. I showed up to work one day, and there were just for rectal use only stickers everywhere, just casually placed around the airport. And I was like, where did you get these? I need them for race bar. And I ordered them that night. And
How many
as
did
soon
you
as I
bring?
got to the race, I started sticking them everywhere.
How many did you bring to the race?
It was like
A roll of 500.
And how many do you have now?
Unknown.
like a 7.
Like 2?
I put out like 200 of them personally.
Oh
so
my gosh, they ended up in our truck.
they're on like every person's oil dipstick of every car in the whole.
Yeah. And then of course there's Alex Levinson who straps ducks everywhere, little rubber ducks. So if you happen to have a little rubber duck strapped to your car somewhere, yeah, that's Alex.
Which
You've been ducked.
you do.
We do.
Yes,
do.
I
A
found
little
one in my
rubber duck
truck.
with a rectal use only sticker on it.
So, Race Bar, fess up. Were you the guys who took the L off of our Mr. Pool?
Absolutely.
All right, very well.
Yes. No question.
Not a question at all.
Wait, seriously, were we?
Yes, we were. We discussed it for quite a while. It was what's his name? Jack, our new guy. My
Oh, nice.
It was Jack that came
Oh,
up with that.
Tell us about Jack. Tell us how we recruited Jack, Ron.
Is Jack the ginger?
Was he
that's
ginger?
Gingerbot. That's
That's
Oh.
a
Elzar.
Gingerbot.
Yeah, Jack he's 23. He's a student, and he looks older. He dropped out of. He never went to college. He started working for Microsoft. Made I don't know how much of a fortune, but then he went back to school.
How
He
did you
was-
meet him? Were you his instructor?
I was his instructor at VIR. He drives a Miata. His instructor didn't fit into the Miata the way the cage and the seat are set up, so I had to crawl in that thing.
With
And
all
I
that
was
hair you fit?
oh yeah, it just crunches.
Oh, okay.
So I was told, because we switched instructors, I was told, whatever you do, we're at VIR doing full course. He crashed into the wall at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So whatever you do, don't push him, get his confidence going, keep him on the track. First lap out, we're off in turn 1. Fully off, no chance. I thought we were sliding deep into turn 2 into the wall, but he caught it. He proved himself. He was fantastic. He's
He can drive.
He's a great kid. He can drive. He's all about it. He gave me a tour of Charlotte. He lives there. His parents live there.
He didn't tell me about any of this crashing stuff before we threw him in both of our cars around the
I was scared silly when I sent him out in race bar with a front left strut that was loose. Did you guys know every hour we were supposed to tighten the bolts on the front left strut on Lobstertron?
I did, but I didn't convey that very well because the next driver to get in didn't check the bolts and the wheel fell off.
Yeah. So I'm driving the Lemons truck, going through the chicane, coasting because I have to rev match to get it in gear with no clutch, and I couldn't get it in gear downshifting. I had no brakes at that point. It took all my strength with no power steering to muscle through the chicane, but I had to because Fred Lobstertron was sitting in the middle of the chicane, front left wheel pointed 90 degrees left in a horrible angle. Kind of like someone's like broken arm or something. It was horrible. And I said, oh, that's not going to be good. And I kept driving. So your truck was fabulous.
Hey, you guys, tell us about the Def Stig racing, guys.
Hold on. I have highlight number 36, and then we'll talk about that. Okay. Highlight number 36. This was Lonnie, Def Stig, came over to play Slap Cup with us.
Is that race bar, Lonnie?
And he's actually very, very good at lip reading, and but I think we didn't know how to interact with him, and so we were treating him like he was mentally handicapped. And so he started playing dumb. He's like, I'll just play along with it. And so we're like teaching him how to play Slap Cup, and so so we're basically saying like you only slap right, and we're trying to explain to him how you bounce the ball, and you beat the guy to your right, you get to slap their cup, and he's like, oh, so I slap. And we're like, yeah. He's like, oh, okay. And so Laura, she takes like a sip of she like drinks a cup or something, and she puts it down, and he like just randomly out of turn, completely out of character, just the largest slap in the world, just slaps the cup across the room, and we're all just like, what?
Hey, Vicky, I think we just figured out why Lonnie didn't come that next morning very early.
Oh, I think so too.
We had some late arrivals one day, and I think we just pieced it together. Because I'm like, they're from the West Coast. Why are they so tired at the night time?
And my stints in the afternoon for race bar.
Yeah, we end up going around with an app called Cardzilla, and it was a speech to text app. And that's how we were talking. I think I showed that to you, Jeff. And it just makes communication really, really easy. And, they're not dumb people. And,
Well, they drove with us. So, I mean.
What does that mean? How did you guys meet those guys?
So we were out in Portland, and we rented a car while we were out there. And one of the drivers blew up the engine. So we had to go get another engine to put in, but we had to build that engine first.
In a truck?
No, in a car we rented out.
It was a Honda.
So we're
built for the race. That was built like a week before the race.
Yeah, so we're putting the engine in and taking we're taking the engine out, and then we have to build another engine, and we put the engine in. And Jeff comes over, and he starts just, diving in there. It's all elbows and everything, helping Alan out, and everybody was pitching in as best they could, and eventually we got the engine in by the end of Sunday. I think it was like 3 laps left, and we went out, and we decided to, as a thank you, say, hey, anytime you want to come to one of our races, just you got a seat. And I think I wasn't home yet, and he said, all right, I'll be in New Hampshire, and we're like, okay, sounds great. So then he comes to New Hampshire.
He was there for the Halloween last year when you guys were there with Baby Shark.
Okay.
Oh yes.
You didn't have to hear any of that.
No, he made a point of saying he never heard any of it.
No.
We're gonna have a television screen prompting the words next time.
And
they were good.
Yeah, they were cool guys. We got them onto our group me, and we invited them to drive race bar next time they're out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they'll be there. Just doesn't matter where you are. They'll be there.
Well, they're trying to build a team.
They are.
And they were trying to do like a Def Power Racing, and of course there's Def Stig or the Def Stig project. And that was one of the conversations that we were having, is that he's just struggling. He's like, he gets people that are excited to go and they're all on board, and then it's just a whole lot of non-starters, so they I says, well, maybe you shouldn't worry about trying to create solely a deaf team right now, and just work on a team, and then bring deaf people on who can participate, and start building your team that way. So they're working on it. They're working on a car build and everything like that. So
they could do a race car west. I mean, we've got a couple of race bars out west.
Oh, we do. We have several people who would probably race with them.
Taylor would totally race with them.
Yeah.
Well,
They're a whole thing. Fabian will do that for a while.
Fabian and Taylor.
Yeah.
Well, think about it before you offer, because when you say something, they will call you the next minute and say, yes.
We are in.
Okay. That's what we need. I mean, that's what so many racing teams need. It's really hard. They're not alone in having people like, I want to do it, and then they just kind of flake out, and you never hear from them again.
Mm-hmm.
It does happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you guys have anything? I know you've talked about this in a previous podcast, but do you have anything special in your truck for them?
Well, apparently, if your car brakes hard enough and loud enough, the deaf driver will actually hear it. We did find that out.
I assume they feel the RPMs, or do they use the shift lights that are in there? They work very well.
I don't know, but he comes in. He goes, I
think
heard it break, and I'm like, you're deaf.
No, I think
they had on their arms.
Hands.
I think
Hands.
They were like red straps.
Oh no, they were straps for the truck because we didn't have a window net. No, I was actually talking to them. Well, number one is what they do also is they do a lot of sim racing, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing is that I believe that they really kind of focus on that, the feeling in the seat, and probably shift lights. But, other than that, no, they just know how to drive it. And
visually, I guess they're just super aware.
That's
yeah.
I think also we have radios that kind of work pretty well now, but for the longest time in race bar, we had like radios that worked about 7% of the time. So I've, most of the beginning of my driving experience was with no comms, and you actually really don't really need the comms as much as you think. I mean, you're gonna get flag in the pit, and
I'm thinking more for feedback of like when tires are locking up, or you get a lot of audio feedback,
but you'd be surprised because they can feel that. Like Jeff's come in and said a lot of times, and really has been spot on with,
especially in our cars.
Yeah, and partly because he's a mechanic. I mean, he just kind of knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he felt the power steering brake, and it wasn't because the steering wheel was really hard to turn. He felt it in his seat, right?
He felt the fire. When the truck was on fire.
Yeah, he saw that.
When the brake pedal went to the floor, when you're coming into the front chicane, it was in his hands. He felt it, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he's got sensory.
Yeah.
The car. So
that's cool. Well, yeah, I'm stoked to have those guys around race bar a bunch this next year. So I wonder if they'll come out in December. I'll have to ask them.
Speaking of December, can we now transition into December?
Oh, yeah.
We should do September 1st, but if you want to go to December,
Jennifer's going nowhere right now for a while.
Is Ron going to be able to get you guys to come out at VIR?
Well, you're jumping way ahead in the plan again.
I'm so sorry.
I hate that there's a plan. That's scaring me.
So
I do that very often.
It's either I drive up with the enclosed trailer. I need to get to DC and get some furniture because Ron Mexico will be a bachelor soon, and that's where the furniture is. I was thinking either continue up north of Philly to you guys, or I would pay to ship the truck down to DC to a shop that I sell to, and I could pick the truck up in DC, saving me probably 14 hours of driving.
I can get it to DC. That's no big deal.
Or we can meet in DC, meet in Rockville or Baltimore.
We haven't exactly told them what happened to the truck yet.
Well, I know that Bill put it into the trailer without brakes. I heard that.
Yeah, Vicky.
Is there more?
Vicky
And then they
decided
took
to.
it out, and the
Vic-
story continues.
Oh.
I heard Bill run into the toolbox in the front of the trailer when they were
No,
leaving.
no. I didn't.
No,
I didn't
no,
run
no.
into it. I jostled and nuzzled. I rattled, but I did not hit
Jostled and
anything.
nuzzled.
However,
It was
Vicky
tricky.
decided to
It
upgrade
had
that.
little brake.
No
It-
break.
No break.
It had no clutch
No
and
clutch.
it had no transmission.
And
So the
Vicky decided
transmission
that,
I actually had to put in gear to start the car.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did that too. Yeah.
Oh, wait, and also the gear shifter, you're not really sure what gear you're in.
No.
It's multiple choice.
Power
At,
steering.
at 80, you can put it in reverse. It's fine.
So
Yeah,
Bill,
just
I'll
don't
let
put it
you-
in
I
fifth.
think I know where this is going.
So Vicky
Which gear
says,
was it in?
Vicky says, "Hey,
No. You put me
instead
in
of
the truck.
because it was basically Vicky and I were the only two people there, and
We
so
were exhausted. We
so
were
I'm
so tired.
I'm pushing,
number
and
one.
she's like, "Hey, it'll just run. Let me start it." So she did.
Oh,
Well, it
Yeah.
got stuck on the trailer, on the truck. I mean, on the car trailer, and we couldn't get it off. I'm like, well, let me just turn it and see if it'll go. So,
And She
okay.
did. So then she drove the truck into the hangar, but
Oh.
and
but
continued through.
continued and then drove it into the parts car, and then
Which was up on jacks with no
Which was-
wheels.
which was up on jack stands with no wheels,
Not
and
anymore.
then the emphasis was on jack stands with no wheels, and then put the parts car into the bike and into the wall, and eventually stopped. And I'm just sitting there with my hands on my head, like. So
But we
And what did you do, Bill? Didn't you kick
tell us what happened after that, Bill.
I was a little hot, and
Was it hot? Was it warm out? Was it 90 degrees?
it was quite hot.
He wasn't mad at me. He
Does
wasn't.
Bill
He was
reach
just
his
mad
breaking
at the
point
whole
at the end of the
scenario
weekend?
because
Damn
it was a
race
rough
car.
weekend.
So wait. So I just bought these hub stands, right? So I can do my alignment and everything. So I just bought them, and I just put them in the tote. And the tote is sitting underneath the parts car. Because what could go wrong? So the parts car, besides being nosedived into the wall through the bike, is now laying on top of my hub stands, which I have not even unwrapped from plastic paper. They're just sitting there, and I'm like sitting there going, "It's like $3,000
It sounded effective to me. I'd return them.
of hub
Right.
stands."
So Bill turns around and kicks the jack stand.
I did.
He's mad, he breaks his toe.
Broke my toe.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Did.
Somebody call us Garage Heroes in Traction.
No.
Hold your foot up. Hold your foot up.
No,
Let's see.
it's looking okay now, but it was various shades of purple.
This was a-
totally like on the
this-
radar wavelength.
This is a rough
that
weekend.
And the wheel falling off story with the gas meter and all that stuff. I'm just like 100% sold.
Yeah.
I'm surprised somebody actually heard that story.
How is there not
I
a
love that
TV show? How is there not a TV show about this?
Yeah, the
Like cameras following us around more often.
Vicky, I can't tell you how many people Vicky starts off, whenever we meet somebody, she'll introduce him and say, "Hey, did you hear about Bill with the car?" And it goes right to the gas meter, no problem. I'm sitting there going, I have done other things in my life besides this, but anyway.
No.
We never give up though, because
Yeah.
one day we will be a real team. We'll grow up to be a real team.
This is Ron Mexico's goal right here. Instructor Ron is going to take you all. Going to take Jen on the ride of her life around VIR in her truck.
Oh,
And she's
my.
not going to go off the track.
The ride of your life.
Oh,
Not what,
it'll
it's,
be the ride
not
of
what
your
you
life.
think it's going to be.
Jen, you got to leave your husband somewhere else. He can't be there.
Actually, we fill our time with HPDEs on the same time, so
We do.
It's
We're
just
doing
that
we're doing a
we
Summit
need
Point
competent
one
cars.
coming
We're just
So when are you guys getting out of the green group then?
up. I didn't know
That
we
was
were-
low, wasn't it?
I didn't
No
know
one
we were
got
in the
that
green
one.
group.
Hey, so the truck, is it like repairable?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
just a small dent in the hood.
Now,
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find an Isuzu hood,
now
and
Vicky,
and of course I'm just gonna repaint. But
Actually,
no.
we're going to be down in Summit Point, I think October 10th. I don't know
Ooh.
if that's close to you
Are
guys.
we still keeping?
that is. It's 4 hours away.
Okay.
Be
no
on an
idea where it
aircraft
is.
carrier.
Oh,
dang.
womp womp.
We do
Womp
race
womp.
bar on the deck of the aircraft carrier. Like a
What group is at Summit?
Let me check. It is.
I know Chris is going to work with Jennifer at Summit.
It is SP Friday night at the track with Summit Point. I think it's just Summit Point thing.
We
Friday
do have
at the track.
Gingerbot lives really close to there. That's his closest track.
I have an opening. I could be there.
Nope,
I've
we're
never
good.
driven it. I would love to be there.
I'll send you the info.
Yeah. I need to get that truck because, I mean, we have to do the important things. What were we talking about? AstroTurf,
palm trees.
palm trees,
D5
lights.
transmission.
No, we don't need a transmission. It's fine. It'll
Power
be fine.
steering pump.
No, it'll be fine.
Power steering flush.
It'll be
Gears
fine.
just make you go
Right.
faster.
I actually don't really think that you need power steering or power brakes because I drove Fred Lobster for the whole stint. And
You should have driven the truck.
Oh my gosh, the truck is not
The truck
so
disagrees.
The truck's like twice as heavy.
Well, you know, you could mess with the caster angle and it might change that, right, Jimbo? Do science.
Power steering pump.
Yeah,
Mexico believes he has a way of fixing it.
yeah,
See
you
if
flush,
he's right.
flush the system.
Do
Yes.
science.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to actually put an electric one in
No,
because
we're
There you
not.
go.
No, we're not.
no.
I
Bill
talked
thinks
to-
they forgot maybe to put the O-rings in.
I
Also,
know they forgot to put the O-rings in.
Oh, jeez.
I have
I
them
talked
sitting on my
to-
counter.
I talked to the dealership, my lead tech over there, and I said, first thing I said, is there a known issue with power steering pumps on S10s? And he looked at me real funny. He goes, no, they're bulletproof.
Yeah,
I've never heard of one blowing up.
We've
And
got
then
bullets.
both of us at the same time go, I don't think they flush the system between power steering pumps.
No.
So,
I
Might
also
be the
never
problem.
that guy's never seen what we do to the trucks either.
yeah.
Well, the
I mentioned racing, and he said it should be fine.
the
The
working
transmission,
theory,
on the other hand, that's another issue.
the working theory is that we might have some other friction point that's binding and just overstressing the power steering somewhere. So we got to check the connections for the other things. So we'll take a peek at that too.
we'll open up our automotive books and start. That's how
Look for
You're like,
where we're
rubbery
at.
things.
Our Bentley books.
Huh?
Yeah.
For rubbery things that may not be rubber anymore, or maybe binding. So we'll see.
Hmm.
Yes.
I feel like this
Yep.
conversation's getting inappropriate, you guys.
But I do have to say that my highlight was that in a matter of like one day, I learned so much from Race Bar when it came to the cars. Serious.
That's all she talked about.
It
Gosh,
is.
these guys are so knowledgeable.
She won't shut up.
Biggest
I mean-
Gosh, and I was just like, he just, it was electronics, and then he traced it all the way back, and then they come over and they started working on just redoing the belt. And I'm just like, it was just.
Didn't see
It
the
was-
fire that we started on the E36.
And the fuel pump.
That was me. Yep.
No, but yeah,
we're quickly
it was
troubleshooting,
awesome.
and we're like, "Hey, here, just swap the relays. Let's troubleshoot the relays." And we swap the relays, and it goes like
Well, that's not it.
looking around. And we're like, "Who saw that?" Okay, nobody saw it. Okay, just put it back. Put it back. It might be fine still.
Yeah.
no, it was amazing. I mean,
What's funny is after all that, I basically banged on your fuel pump like a Neanderthal, and that was all it was.
which was even
I
funnier.
was like
You're-
calculating the geometry of this and that and doing science, and it just was like
And-
clonk,
and-
clonk.
And you wrecked the car because had you not fixed it, it wouldn't have wrecked.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
but he did. But like as soon like I had my head like right wherever he was, working on, and then he goes, "You are going to need a new fuel pump," and I'm like, "Bill, we're going to need a new fuel pump." And we had one in. As soon as that one went out, we just slid it right in, because that's what he said. He goes, "You're going to need a new one." He literally goes, "Let me try this first." He goes, "Boom, boom, bang." He goes, "All right, start it up."
The funny thing is our car was broken too, and I looked over and he was working on your car, and I was like,
I was
well,
running a
okay,
different
whatever.
car.
And then as soon as you fixed your car, he went right over to another E36, and he's like poked at it and fixed it.
There was like 4 or 5 of them all tied up in the garage all
They're
at
all
once.
waiting in line.
Yeah.
Have a fuel pump.
Now serving number 64. 64.
Number.
So here's another subject matter that would be interesting for you, possibly. What items can we list that we lost on the track that are not race related? Traditionally race related. What did the corner workers and cleaning crew find out there?
Well, there was that one toy car.
There was a toy car in the back chicane.
Yeah, pineapples. We lost them in
Used
like
condoms.
the second day.
No.
He flew right
That's
on
so
off.
sad.
And we even don't we have video of him flying off?
Oh my
No,
god.
that was the speaker.
Dang.
We lost a speaker too.
Apparently the speaker-
You lost a speaker on the racetrack?
And apparently it like flew up into the air. It hit the ground and bounced like 20 feet up in the air.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
It's similar to Baby Shark's speaker that was laying on the infield at one point in New Hampshire.
We were playing. Some people may take joy in this. We were playing Baby Shark at 114 decibels. One
Hey
speaker,
Jim, can they hear it?
one speaker fell out of the car and bounced away. The other speaker blew up, and then the subwoofer amp blew up. So there was no sound coming out of the speakers.
From what I heard, it's likely that the guy at the start finish had a gun and shot that speaker's mounting away, and that's why it fell off. Because
Make it stop.
he was not a fan, shall we say?
Somebody came around and threatened to give us a penalty if we didn't turn it off, and I was just like, "What? I can't hear you."
My words were, she came up to me and said, "You're going to get a black flag if that blank blank song keeps playing." And I said, "Well, honestly, someone's in Tennessee controlling it. We don't have any control over the speaker." And she walked away believing me.
That's from corporate. We can't control the music.
It is semi-true, though, because at a race, was it Dick? You were controlling the music, weren't you?
Yeah, I can control it remotely. Like, when I'm not at races, I can log in and like control what they hear.
So
I
also,
fear
Bill,
you guys. Yes.
we were having a conversation with Alex, and was it Jeff that was there
I don't know. You need
when
more
it came
detail.
to the conversation about go-karters?
Was it Ron?
It was Ron.
Was it Ron?
That was Ron.
Def Jeff or me?
You.
So you're like, you can't trust those go-karting guys.
Oh, no. Look at my trailer. I have cameras all over it.
Okay,
They
this is the
cheat.
funny part, though.
The funny part is Alex runs a go-karting.
I didn't know that.
I know.
And I don't care.
That's what made it really funny.
Oh my gosh!
He literally
Tell him
runs
to
a
come to
go-kart
Lang-
track.
Tell them to come to Langley Speedway. There's a bunch of cheaters out there.
It's like, they're a bunch of cheaters. They're low rent. You can't
Those
trust a
go-kart
single one
guys.
of them. And
Meanwhile,
Alex is just
runs
like, nope.
4 or 5 different go-karting places.
Jeff
So.
Caplan,
Meanwhile,
in
we're all
his
running
younger
around in
years,
orange shorts,
was
and
a-
there's like snow machines and like foam everywhere and lights.
Oh my! All right, let's pretend we're doing a podcast here. Jennifer,
Okay.
hit it.
What am I asking?
All
Bad, the
right,
ugly.
there we go.
Or do we even have a? Where is it?
9.
Oh,
Good,
sorry.
bad, and the ugly.
Oh, good, bad, and the ugly. All right. So
We don't have Ben Dawson in here right now.
Ben is. I don't know where he is tonight. Actually,
All right, go ahead, Jennifer.
we can
I
get.
hit play again. Go ahead. Unpause.
all right, good, bad, and the ugly. So what was good, bad, and ugly for the whole weekend? What was your good, bad, and ugly?
Everybody gets a shot at it.
Everybody gets a shot.
Good was, man, that whole race was just a total. I mean, our cars didn't make it to the end, but that doesn't ever really matter. It was just an awesome race.
It was just so
We
much
got to
fun.
hang out with you guys. I didn't really ever really meet you guys other than on these podcasts, but it was just so fun to hang out with you all. That was my good.
Okay.
My bad. I didn't have a bad really.
Okay. Anything ugly? Anything fun? Fun story time.
That wheel,
I got zapped by
that
Rick
strut
Bob.
falling off in Fred.
That was bad.
That was
bad.
bad and ugly.
That was
It
expected, though.
That was sadly expected.
I also
Ugly.
I was standing
Ugly.
barefoot by a race bar and I was messing with the bubble machine and I got zapped a bunch of times.
But he
So is
kept
that-
going back for it. That's the
Doing
funny
it.
part.
So the bad thing is, I can't tell if that's a good or bad or an ugly for you because it might have just been fun for you.
My
But
mustache curled a little more.
I don't know. All right, pineapples. Your mustache did not curl. What was your good, bad, and the ugly?
Good, bad, ugly.
Good. I think Jim came up into the pits after being down for a while, and I was like, Jim, race bar is second in class. He goes, "Oh my God, what?" He had no idea the entire time. And he was like, "Oh my God, guys, we can do this. We just, our drivers changed just faster." And the next one we did like fastest one we've ever seen Race Bar do as a team. And it was awesome.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's good.
It was fun. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Anything bad?
I don't think there's anything bad, 'cause even with things breaking, I think the team as a whole did awesome. And it was really cool to witness.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ugly would
Even
be.
if you got to make it up.
Ugly would be like Sunday morning.
Oh, Sunday morning, but also Saturday night. I may or may not have driven on a go-kart very quickly in the rain and washed out my contacts, so then I was blind for the rest of the night.
Minor details.
I believe I know whether that was may or may not. I'm just saying. But, okay.
It might have happened, but
Might have happened.
can't confirm or deny it.
All right. I'm not sure if we're talking to Jeff or Ron Mexico. So.
Oh, this is definitely Ron Mexico.
Okay. Hello, Ron. Oh my.
The good would be the women's shower. Excellent.
Excellent. Yes. Yes.
That was definitely
Who was in there, Jeff? Ron?
someone from Hot Mess Racing. That's all I know. The bad was I was in the women's shower because we had to share my trailer with 2 other people for sleeping. So that was kind of the bad. The ugly would have been peeing next to somebody's RV before they got up to make coffee. I don't know what that was.
It was a filter though, so it was fine. All right, Jandy, you're last. What you got?
I think I said mine. I forget what they were already. Maybe I just thought them.
Well, you've got 47 to choose from for the good. So.
I have 47. Good. I learned that you can play slap cup with mostly water. We played slap cup on Friday night with seltzer water and like 1 beer because I thought it'd be smart to just not get plastered drunk Friday night. And all the young people out there are going to hate me for saying this, but it was awesome. It was a lot of fun, and it didn't matter. It turns out beer and water is the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta go bad.
I never sleep at these races. Ever do I sleep. Ever. Period. I sleep like 2 hours the whole weekend. I slept like 3 hours this weekend.
He's adrenaline junkie.
He is.
That's what it is. He's
You
just
should try
all
sleeping
hyped
in the
up.
minivan.
You try
You
sleeping in
slept-
those shorts.
More hours I've ever seen anybody sleep, Dick Freelane. I don't know how you did it. You got away from your kids and you slept in your van during the day. You went to bed at 11 p.m. and woke up at like 11 a.m. Sunday morning.
I did not go to bed at 11 p.m. I went to bed. I was like the last to bed every single.
Okay.
Listen. He gets a pass because he fixed our car about 50 times. So we wore his butt out.
That's right.
You got an ugly for us, sir?
Just that strut on that Fred.
Okay. All right. Very well. So let's
All right.
pretend we're going to have a podcast where we're going to try to help people learn how to race and learn how to drive and have fun doing this. So how about tips? One
Don't
tip
try and win.
of something that works or helps, and one tip of something that doesn't work.
I got you.
Okay. So Jeff, yours is don't try to win.
Don't try and win. But I learned something from not the old man down by the river, but another elderly gentleman out there that's from one of the teams that we acquired. Because it turned into a testosterone race when I was out there with him. He was determined to show me up, and I was determined to not let him come near me. But it was interesting. He's done a lot of racing. He's very smooth. He's very good. And endurance racing, it's something I didn't think of, an angle I didn't think about. Drive within yourself, slowly increase your speeds, know when you've reached that limit, and just be consistent. It doesn't matter who passes you or you pass them. It's meaningless. You're in a race there for yourself. You're by yourself. It's an individual thing that you're doing. So that really actually helped me. Endurance racing, you don't have to set the fastest lap. You have to stay on the track.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, if you set the fastest lap, you're not on the track for very long.
No, I was off 3 times, so that was fine.
Okay.
We got 2 aha moments. One, and we learned this lesson a little bit, and I saw that your team had it as well. We talked about it earlier, and it is the team is more important than the cars. So your reputation and the things that you do and your actions towards each other matter far more than any material aspect of the team. Everything can be replaced. But if you want to start a team and play the long game, you've got to have the right culture. That's 1.
Okay.
2 is I just lost it. It was to piggyback off of what Ron was saying there.
It was amazing though.
Know your limits. It was I had an aha moment while I was driving around the track, just driving around and around and around. And it got to a point where I was still having fun, but it was work. And I was wondering what the point of it was. I was only driving like an hour and 20-minute stint or something. But what I started thinking was, if we're going to win, because someday I think it would be nice to win, we got to sit in the car for 2 hours. And why would I ever want to do that? Why would I ever want to sit in the car for 2 hours? And why would I ever want to put all this work into it when it's not fun? And I realized that the win is not for you, the driver. The win is for the team. It's for Pineapples in the pits and Katie and all the other people and your followers and the people who are supporting you and your team name. It's not for you as the driver. So on that note, you're not out there to drive as fast as you can to make your best lap time or to prove yourself in the car. You're out there to drive consistent laps, keep the car on the track, work hard, and do it for each other. And that was kind of this huge aha moment of mine, because I've had a hard time getting past, like, if we're going to win, it's not going to be fun, because winning isn't fun. And that's kind of personally how I decided I could get there.
You have ADHD.
He just muted himself.
Definitely.
Yes.
Bored easily.
His team says yes.
His power is for good, Vicky. For good.
Yes. You get bored easy.
Hey, Jim, I'll be right back, okay? I'm going to mute myself. Okay, hold on.
Hey, turn your camera off, Ron.
Put that thing away. Pineapples, save us.
I don't know. As someone who's still learning, I think the only tip I have would just be observe as much as you can. Like, the little that I have learned, I've learned from watching these guys and listening. Like, listening to them talk about what they're doing while they're on track and after they've come off, and I'm learning little by little. So
Did you see anything that you said, that's probably not the way to go?
My sister may or may not have gone off track quite a few times, so trying to not do that.
Yeah.
Okay, off track, not good. All right.
Did you have any little aha moments yourself that were just like, oh, that is something I can put in my back pocket and always remember?
Not trying to exceed my own expectations. I tend to personally set them too high for myself, and I get bummed out when I don't meet them. So if I don't do as well as I wanted to, I've learned that that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is good. That's a very good tip.
Mr. Freelane.
I have a problem sometimes when I'm at these races, kind of like Andy. I don't ever like sit down or like hang out with anybody. I'm just like running around the whole time. And I made an effort to like sit in a chair in the pit for like
and steal my snacks.
And steal your snacks for like 35 minutes. And to try to chill out and like talk to some people and like meet some new people and not just be like worrying about single thing every 2 seconds. And well, which is possible when we have people around that are thinking about, hey, are we about to run out of fuel, and should we go do this or that? So that was my win and my aha. I don't know, that racetrack was a little spooky to me the whole time. Just those walls were very close, and I was.
It was an elevated track.
Yeah, and I was like, we were racing on a track that a lot of very famous race car drivers have driven on, and they're going like twice as fast as us. And I was just kind of had a little more respect for drivers that are driving like 200 miles an hour on that track and not like 100. And
If you blinked really quick, you could make it look like you were going faster. Though.
yeah.
We actually had an actual NASCAR driver driving with us at this race.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did he drive? He didn't drive race car though. We should have got him in race.
He
car.
did. Oh,
Yeah, he broke the
Yeah.
shifter.
Yeah.
Did he really? No
He
way.
broke the shifter after you broke the shifter.
Oh, wow.
To make sure it was broken.
Just make sure
He drives trucks, right? The NASCAR truck
Yeah.
series.
Yeah. He apparently he went through the front chicane, broke the shifter, and then decided to go in reverse back through pit lane just because it was safer and drove off to the garage. Is that right?
So on the chicane on the front is where the shifter broke, and he knows the track really well. And if you make a left turn, it makes kind of a 180-degree turn, and it ends up backwards on pit lane. And so he just coasted around the corner and then coasted off a pit lane and right down the hill, right into the garage, without even stopping or anything. He just right off the track, just right into the garage. And they came over and had a little discussion with him. They're like, "You can't do that." And he's like, "Yeah, but I couldn't move. What are you going to want me to do? Get towed off the track?"
Then he ran right into a car on jack stands, knocked the whole thing off, bumped the bike.
Right over Alan's bike.
He was awesome.
So, Bill, how about you? What was your aha moment?
For the race?
Well, just the whole weekend. That's one thing we never discussed.
So there I was driving the E36, and we hadn't gotten telemetry in, and this Porsche keeps passing me like every 5 laps, like clockwork. And I'm like, man, I thought I was getting better. I thought these HPDs would help. And then this Mazda Miata is flying by me like every 8 or 9 laps. And I'm like, I don't know. I thought I was better. I thought, these cars just keep passing me and passing me and passing me. And then the fuel pump went out for the first time, and I go back in, and it turns out I was in 3rd place to the Porsche and the Mazda Miata. So maybe I'm not terrible. Who knows?
That's awesome.
That's cool.
It was kind of fun.
How about you, Jen?
Walls are bad.
Walls are bad.
Walls don't move.
When the turns to the left, going to the right's a bad idea.
And I mentioned this before. The last accident that I had really, really shook me up. Like, I couldn't get over it. And every time I went to an HPD or every time I went to a race after that, and I never expressed it, but I was actually really nervous about getting in the car and driving.
We could tell.
And it was almost as if I was just waiting for something to happen. And even though I got hurt this time, like, I'm over it. Like, it was just kind of like, okay, there it was, and I'm good now. So it was, I know it sounds really bizarre and strange and weird, but that was kind of like, and even I was just even anxious leading up to this race. And I was looking forward to it, don't get me wrong, but like, just having it happen, it's almost like, okay, I'm good. So yeah, that was kind of my moment, I think.
The best thing for you is to get back in the car.
Right.
Just go slow and build up back up to it. I used to ride road bikes, and I crashed at 35 miles an hour down a hill. And ever since then, that one little spot, I went slow and easy, and then eventually I just built it back up. I had to get back on and do it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to trust it wasn't something I did. It was something that I couldn't avoid at that one moment. So
Yeah.
Right.
just keep pushing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm okay. Like, I'm okay with it. And like I said, you would think that this would have shaken me up more because, I was injured, but like it didn't. It's completely different. So yeah, I mean, it's good. I'm good. I can get back in the car.
Mm-hmm.
You've got no choice. Vicky said you're going. So.
Vicky said she'd quit if I didn't.
That's right.
Like, I don't want to do this without you.
That's right.
This actually has made our family tighter.
It's interesting to see that process. I watched my 5-year-old kind of go through that same process. I got him a dirt bike, and we took him to a dirt track, and I watched him driving way too fast, just like taking these jumps, like just out of control. And I looked at my wife and I said, I want you to know today he is going to crash, and he's going to cry, and he may even get a little bit hurt. and you're going to have to just let it go because it's part of it. And sure enough, it happened. I watched him do it. He hit a little jump, and he got in the soft dirt, and he got all squiggly going really fast, and he wiped out, and he got a face full of dirt and a little bloody lip, and I went out there and got him, and we talked it over, and he's ready to get back on the dirt bike. And he went out there, and that spot right there, he slowed down, and you could tell he was more conservative in that spot, but he like slowly worked his way back up again. And after a little more time, he was right back to doing it. And it was actually really kind of cool to watch that whole process work.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't get out of it. Like that thing. And I just thought, the more HPDs I did, like I'll get over it. I just couldn't. And not like in a bad way, like I didn't want to not do it, because I did. Like I'm kind of really determined to do it. But
was it because you felt bad about the first car?
Well, I mean, you feel bad about any car, I mean, it's just, you feel bad about it. But no, it wasn't that. It was just, I don't know. You go out there and you're like, gosh, these people are so much better than me. And, do I really know what I'm doing? And, maybe I shouldn't be here type thing. So, yeah, I mean, but now it was kind of, I saw a lot of improvement in myself leading up to this race, I think because of all the HPDs. And yeah, so I don't know. Like, I just feel like, not that I'm wouldn't even consider myself a good driver, but like I saw the improvement in myself enough to where I was comfortable enough to be out there.
You're definitely improving. There's no doubt.
Oh yeah.
There's always someone better than you. Always. Doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
So I have no desire to drive on the edge of my life. So there'll always be somebody better.
I mean, you worry about, you don't want to go out there and certainly hurt somebody, though. You know what I mean? Because you did something stupid, and and that's kind of, I approached it wrong, I think. I'm just like, yeah, I can do this. Do you know how to drive a shift? No, but why not? Let's try it.
How hard can it be?
How hard can it be? But yeah, so yeah, it's all good.
Vicky's favorite
what about
part.
You, Vicky, what was your aha moment?
I would have to say that it was the workarounds on the cars. When Race Bar had come over and just said, just remove the power steering. And I was just like, you can do that?
Where should we put it?
And
Priceless was the look.
And I think it was the mechanics part of it. Like, I'm really fascinated by it. I've never done mechanics before. I've fixed a lot of things around our house. I fixed our appliances, handy stuff like that. But now it's just, the cars are just another tinker toy. Is it
creative mechanics?
Huh?
Creative mechanics.
Right.
It's just
right.
a bigger toy with a
it's not
faster
the
spin
best
cycle.
scenario for the long run, but hell, it might get us to the end of the race.
There was a diagram on the engine bay. It was right there.
I never noticed that before. And I'm like, holy, and when Richard, I'm sorry, Dick, he was poking around with the electronic stuff, and he started getting in with the modules, and he traced it all the way back to the fuel pump, and I'm like, it really is that easy, and then he goes, wait a minute, and he smacked it, and then I was like, I gotta try that too. Just kick the damn thing and see if it starts.
That's how we fixed Brad's car.
Yeah, I think that it just made me look at the car a little differently, even more so, going, it's really not as hard as
we make it look,
as it looks from the outside, say for instance, like 6 months ago. It's just, everything's becoming so much easier. And that was just a big eye opener for me, that there's difference between just putting different parts on and actually working like deeply on a car and understanding it. So that was mine. It was
awesome.
A deeper understanding.
That's awesome.
And it only took like maybe one day when you guys were just over there like 3 times, it was like,
But we love that,
awesome.
like that challenge when the car's not running and the race is going on and you got to get it on the track. And I love that like rush of like, we have to fix this now.
Great.
Also, what I'm what I'm hearing here is it doesn't take. There's small moments that have a huge impact on people's lives or their weekend or their day. I've seen that happen a lot where it just takes one thing that you say to somebody or you do or one action that has a huge impact. It really is amazing. I've seen that a lot in racing.
Yeah, I mean, Andy said something, and I got a divorce. It was great. Fabulous.
Thanks, Jandy.
Womp womp.
Too soon.
So
One of the race bar sayings. It's in the movie by Andy over there. You can't be afraid to turn a wrench, turn a screw, see what it does.
Yeah.
You take a bolt off, see what happens.
Maybe it'll make
What's the worst that's gonna happen? It's already broken. Don't worry about it.
you know what? I think that's how I looked at all the appliances that I had worked on before I called somebody in. Like I totally disassembled my dryer all the way down, and labeled everything. I'm like, how bad can it be? I mean, it's already broken. If I call somebody in, they'll put it back together for me, at that point. If I really mess it up, I can still call a person, but at least I can give it a shot myself. But I think that I mean, I think it just had a little better understanding about the vehicle itself.
Yeah.
Bill, you need to buy Vicky a multimeter. Do you have a multimeter, Vicky?
Not a multimeter, but a multimeter.
We do. She doesn't know what it looks like, but we have one.
I know. I was telling these guys that I really want to take a welding and fabrication course.
Yes.
And more like the artsy side, because the artsy side can like translate over really well with the cars.
There's
still
something primal about welding.
Learn how to weld.
Get into TIG welding. Everybody has a MIG welder. MIG welding is a way to build roll cages, but TIG welding you can do so much more with, and it's a lot slower to do a roll cage. But I think if you can get good at it, you can do so much more with it.
Mm-hmm. TIG welding.
Artsy stuff, for instance, a little more expensive, a little more tricky to do. But I think it's like you could practice, and it's kind of small scale stuff.
Yeah, we have a welder. I just don't know how to use it, So.
Or if you're beginning, just do a flux core welder, because you don't need to be good. You just take it and you touch it and you weld something, and it's like easy day.
This is what we shall be doing.
All right. Well, I think we should move on to Fast and Furious storytime questions.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Well,
we haven't stayed on any of the questions we started with, so let's try those.
These might be fun. All right. Jennifer, you want to start off? Okay, Fast and Furious questions. They're just flash answers. They don't, just whatever's on the top of your head at the time. A little bit of history to get to know you guys. So, Jennifer, do you want to kick it off?
Sure, this will be fun. So, we can start with, it doesn't matter who goes first. So, the first question is, what was your very first car? And what was the worst car you ever had?
And you can't say our truck.
Your truck is great. It's the best car I ever had. I can't wait to get some action in the AstroTurf in the back.
No worries.
All right. How about pineapples? What was your very first car you ever owned?
It was a 2017. No.
2002 Honda Accord.
Oh, that's a good one. Pretty solid car.
Still kicking.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Worst car?
That's the only car I've had, so.
Only one? First, worst,
Young,
best.
Bill.
She's young.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, speaking of, we discovered the Bavaria, the Fred Lobstertron. It was not a 1975 or 76 Bavaria. We actually discovered it was a 1969 Bavaria, which is, ironic for being race bar. But my first car was a 69 Mustang.
That's a nice car.
Nice car.
Oh, it's long gone.
So what's
All right. What was your worst car then?
Worst car.
God. I don't know. They're all great cars, right? Oh, the worst car was Red Rocket. Has to be the worst car. I got done. The steering wheel was way to the right. The owner was hunting me down to yell at me and beat me up. And yes, and now he's charging me $50 storage fee for my car.
Red Rocket was a part of our team. One of our team members
Careful,
had an
this
accident.
is public.
Well,
He did not do what Bill did.
Not friends with us
Jen.
anymore, so Yeah. First thing he said was not, "Are you okay?" I'll put it that way.
Okay.
So that's enough of my worst car thing.
How about you, Jandy?
My first car was a 1980 Volkswagen Scirocco. It was my parents' car that they had bought new, and they gave it to me as a rusted out piece of work. And I drove the piss out of it, and then put it back in the barn where it came from when I started driving it.
How about your worst car?
That was it.
You know, that car is still sitting in that barn. That could be a race bar.
It is still sitting in the barn.
Along with the mail truck and the E28.
We have a mail truck, like a 80s mail truck.
That would be so cool to race, though.
Yes, I know. I know.
Oh my god. that'd be
Mid-engine.
awesome.
Mid-engine. That'd be awesome.
That would be
Way
awesome.
too many.
We could give it to Sasha to make it just the ultimate Lemons
We could do a
car.
whole mailman theme. It'd be kind of fun to go around.
Just
passing
keep
out
it with.
to
Just
everyone.
keep it being U.S. Postal.
Yes. Yes.
Jennifer's got something. All right.
She's gonna break her
let me
ribs again. We got
that's
one more
awesome.
person. Mr.
All right.
Freelane.
Dick Fairlane's next.
Freelane. My first car was an '87 BMW 535, and that was a great car. I've never had a worse car. I pretty much love all the cars I've had. I just love cars, so I can't really. I'll find the best in even the worst cars driving around. So
Mhm.
Awesome.
yeah, that's it.
All right. So, what is the car from your family that sticks out in your mind?
Minivan, right?
Oh, the country Squire.
Dick
of course.
Freelane's minivan. I know he hated the minivan growing up.
I don't know. Let's see. My dad had those Ford Tauruses, the kind of roundish ones.
bubbles?
Those were interesting. My mom had the red minivan with the wood sides, like the wooden. fake
Oh,
wood
you
sides.
really?
You really think that was wood?
Yeah, I believed it. At the time.
I believe.
It had that Chrysler emblem on the front. I don't know.
Nice. That's a good one.
Jimbo,
What?
how about?
Yeah, I would say it was my dad's Silverado truck. Just
The yellow one.
riding with him on that truck. Yeah, old Yeller.
How about you there, Kaitlyn?
That's Miss Pineapples.
We used to have an Xterra that we would take to our soccer tournaments, mine and my sister's soccer tournaments. And I will say those back seats are very uncomfortable after 3 hours.
Yeah.
We got an Xterra stuck in the mud really bad, all the way up to over the headlights one time. Remember that, Jimbo? Or we
Yeah. Yes, we did. One time in college, I got a Chevy S10 stuck in the mud, but it wasn't even mud; it was just dirt. It just didn't have low enough gearing, and I was just driving through really rough dirt. And it
With
just
a canoe. It had a canoe behind it.
Do it. And it died. and then I went to start it and popped the clutch, and it just spun in the dirt. So we'll come get it later. Then it rained a little bit, and we went and got the Xterra, and we got the Xterra like buried in mud, right?
Mega stuck.
So we got my Beamer. We got my 535, and we tried that, and we were trying to go a different way in the field, and of course we didn't make it anywhere. We got it stuck. So we got the Xterra. Then we went and got my dad's F350.
From like 2
And-
hours away.
Yeah, and we're like, if we just gun it on the paved part of the road and get up a bunch of speed, and we get through the really muddy part of the field, we can get out far enough to where the ground is firmer. And we got up to like 30 mile an hour and just buried the truck in the mud. And we were out there until like 2 a.m. We got the Xterra out, I think, and the Xterra, we were like trying to pull all the cars out and everything, and cops came, and I remember the cops came, and they were like the edge of the field with their lights on, just sitting there, and we had to walk to them, and we're like walking in the mud because our shoes like got stuck in the mud. We lost our shoes, so we're like in the like mud up to our knees, like trying to walk. Like it took us like 20 minutes to walk to the police cars, and we get there, and they're like, "What are you guys doing?"
Hey, I'll
Like,
take-
what is this, MTV Spring Break?
Yeah.
What did you do to the gas meter? Oh, sorry.
All right. So I have another question.
No. Jeff Caplan.
Jeff
What?
Caplan.
Family
What?
car that sticks out?
Oh, that my parents owned, you said?
Yeah, when you were growing up.
Oh, well, that would definitely be the Country Squire, because you didn't need seatbelts with that thing. It was such a big tank. We got in all types of accidents. You just bounce off the ceiling in the back. Everyone was sitting in the jump seat in the back.
Yeah.
And so you hit something, and okay, I'm okay.
There you go.
The reverse jump seat. We used to, if this is the back window, me and my brother, we would used to be like giving hand signals to the car behind us to get them to try and imitate us. 1970, doing the peace sign.
Yeah.
I kind of remember just doing this one time.
Pull the
That's
horn for the
amazing
truck drivers.
that we made it through and we're not dead. Like, it's. Do you remember lawn darts?
Pineapples does not.
Jennifer, do you remember going down to the beach in the back of Dad's Bronco, like nothing holding us down in there, and just having the flap open and just waving to people? I don't know how we survived.
I don't think alive.
I don't think people thought of safety back in the day. I remember my grandmother, all growing up, we would go to her house for family get-togethers, and the sun would come into the window. So we'd take a blanket and put the blanket up on top of there's like a wood on top, and she'd put a hammer on top of the blanket to hold the blanket up. And every time we'd sit on the couch below the hammer, and we'd look up at the hammer, and we're like, that is gonna fall on somebody's head. We can put a hole in their skull, and they're gonna go to the hospital. And we never did anything about it. Every family get together, that's what we did.
I remember actually playing lawn darts. And it never dawned on me that one of those things would actually hit somebody's head.
My son has gym in class. I think it was like 5th or 6th grade, and they started to like bring back some of these sports and teach them about all the old sports.
Lawn darts.
I said, you go in there and you tell your gym teacher that you want to learn lawn darts next. And he's like, what's lawn darts? And I'm like, he's old enough to know. Just tell him. He'll laugh. Trust me.
That's awesome.
Oh, all right, I got to get this back on the rails.
Good luck
What
with
was that one car that got away? I'm not even going to ask Kaitlyn. Too
It's
young.
still here.
That one car that got away. You had it, wish you didn't get rid of it, wish you had
The
it again.
1969 Mustang.
It was a wonderful era
I
in
think
your
it'd go
life.
away. I still have my 70 911T. I still have the 70 1600 BMW. I haven't let any of them get away. I think we've only sold an E36 M3 so far.
Okay.
And he's holding up a sign that says, I have to go to bed in 5 minutes. He's probably time making during this podcast.
No worries.
We were blabbing away.
That's okay.
It's all right.
So what's your car that got away, Mr. Webb?
It's all right.
Bought everything I ever wanted.
Sounds like a plan. Mr. Freelane?
I don't have any cars that got away. Race bar could have been that car, but then we turned it into a race car instead of.
One time I was driving with Dick Freelane in college, and we're driving down the road, and he screams like randomly, and he goes, "Oh my God, stop!" And we pull over, and he goes, "Turn around and go back there." And we turned around, and we'd driven past this like business that had a bunch of cars, just like in a lot, just full of cars, and he had spotted just out of the corner of his eye the headlights, and it was like an L7 or something. It was
a 7 Series, just like race bar.
It was a rare. Oh well, I guess it's not rare, but
yeah,
you made it sound like it was a rare BMW, and you're like, "Oh my God, I want to buy that car."
And I went and bought it.
It didn't get away.
It didn't get away.
All right. Well, let's pick a fun one then, because obviously we're not going to be able to do them all. But here's one I always like. What's your favorite car movie or a car from a movie of all time?
Oh, Cars, because that's all our nicknames got generated from there.
Back to the Future, because E20.
Yeah, you
Race
stole
bar.
mine.
There's actually a chance that race bar is in Back to the Future.
Yep.
What did we calculate that as?
One in 700, right?
No,
I
it's
thought it
less.
got narrowed down to 1 in 500.
We got it narrowed down to
Oh.
1 in 200 because that color, because about the color.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
actually a good chance. Race bar is the car that Biff is waxing in Back to the Future when the reality changed to McFly's dad like succeeding.
I'm pretty sure it is the car. I don't hear anyone saying it isn't. So.
It's the car. Yeah.
We're just gonna say it is.
It is.
Works for us. Don't let reality get in the way of a good story. So
Yeah.
Pineapples. Do you watch movies?
No. Andy doesn't either, so that doesn't
I don't have
matter.
time.
Give us a better one, Vicky.
Shoot, Vic.
What is that one car you'd love to switch with that you're currently racing against or raced against in the past, and on what racetrack?
No, I want to keep our cars.
Your cars are awesome.
You want the truck?
Any of Speedy Cop's cars.
Oh, I do want the truck.
Yeah, sure.
Which of our 3 cars do you want to trade for the truck?
I'm not familiar
Baby
with
Shark.
the 3 cars.
Take Baby Shark right now. It has an awesome motor in it right now.
But it does fit. It does kind of fit with our class, our car. So maybe. Mr. Freelane, do you have a car that you want to switch into?
No, I'm pretty much want to drive race bar all the time.
All right, race bar, 100%.
Dedicated.
Jandy.
No, I just want to drive race bar. Yeah, every day I'm race barring.
Pineapples.
Right.
This is your chance, Pineapples. You can get away.
Only has for clothes.
I definitely want to be able to drive race bar.
All right.
Yeah, a big thing behind that. I go to all the HPD. I became an instructor, so I have to pay for track time now. That's the whole purpose behind that. But all these people come out. It's a speed creep thing. Everyone has to have the new Mustang, the new Camaro, the new Charger, the new whatever, the fastest, biggest thing, the new Corvette. I go out there in Fred Lobstertron,
Right.
and I'm competing with the Miatas. I'm in a car that has no anti-lock brakes, maybe power steering if the power steering pump isn't blowing up. To correct the car in a rotation, you have to turn the wheel halfway, almost to get the correction, to get the back end to go in the right direction. And I tell my students, I want a car that I can drive, that I have to drive, that I have to understand, rather than my safe car, which is the 95 E36, which it just goes. It doesn't break. It bounces from gator to gator. It's solid. It's little wheel corrections. It's hard to rotate with all the grip that it has. Andy's followed me through Hogpen at VIR, and where the back wheels come out a little bit and tag the dirt, and everything's going flying everywhere all in his face. And I'm just doing 3/4 rotations with the wheel and pumping my fist as I go through that I saved the thing. And it's just so much more fun, even though I'm not going that fast.
Right.
It's just such a better car, these old cars that we have.
All right.
So, last question. What is your favorite track so far you've ever raced on?
VR.
Ooh.
Yeah, VAR is the best track I've ever.
It just is. It
Overall, with
just
the employees, the corner workers, security, the owner. I've been to a mess of tracks in my life.
Although they let the go-kart play around at Charlotte, and they didn't actually successfully throw it out or stop it at VAR, but they tried. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Road America was a fantastic track. Barber, Mid-Ohio, all those are great, but I mean, we know the employees at VIR are phenomenal. They make that track.
They let you get away with stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think we need to go to VIR.
I'm sitting there thinking we need to go to VIR.
You guys ever been to there?
No,
not yet.
I haven't visited that one yet.
You will never go anywhere else once you're there.
Fantastic. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It was created by a guy on a tractor. There's a beautiful video documentary about it. The guy making oak tree. It's the radius of this specific tractor turned to the right, locking the steering wheel. That's the radius of the turn. They did the upper S's because it went in and out of trees. That's how the driver of the tractor could go. It was the easiest path.
It's really beautiful. Just when you come over the bridge and you see the cars on the track and it's kind of breathtaking. It's like out in the middle of nowhere too. It's kind of this little piece of heaven in the middle of nowhere, which is just awesome.
And the configurations, Grand Course, I've done it one time, I don't know how 20 something turns, close to 30 turns. It takes you everywhere on the entire complex. It's amazing. It's just so long. You just keep driving. It never ends. Everything is new every time you go through the course, each lap. It's wonderful. North course is challenging. South course looks as simple as New Jersey, but it's so much more technical.
Mm-hmm.
It's really amazing. You can drive there. You can drive anywhere. Laguna Seca doesn't hold a candle.
All right. Well, we made it through. You guys put up with us for, I think this is third or fourth time. I don't know why you keep coming back, but thank you for coming. And hopefully you guys had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get
So
Jandy to bed.
I know. So how can everybody keep in contact with you?
How do you follow Race Bar?
Race Bar Facebook group,
Mhm.
racebar.net. Or if you can sneak into our WhatsApp channels, just beware because it's a little crazy in there.
Yeah.
And if you're at the track and you see lots of bubbles, just come on over.
Look for the MTV Spring Break, and you'll know where to find us.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Facebook's the easiest. Join, like our Facebook page or join our Facebook group, and then if you just talk to us, then we'll add you to the WhatsApp group, and then you're on the team magically, like that. You're on the team.
Just that easy, just that quick.
Awesome. Thank you guys. And
Thanks for
pineapples.
having us.
Thank you guys very much.
All right. Thanks.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Race bar. Race bar.
Race bar.
All righty. We made it.
Dominating with Dawson.
Ben, we're back again. Vicky and Jen are here. We've got a race coming up. We've got a race coming up in August. It is going to be down at Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be hot.
Popsicles worked.
Popsicles
In
do
the
work.
freezer.
We have a plan for the paddock as well. But what we were talking about specifically was hydration, both before and after, as well as during the race, during your stint, because we're going to be in the car for 2+ hours if things go well.
Right.
What is your thoughts on hydration, especially during the racing? Because we're pretty good because we've competed in a lot of sports that required hydration before and after, but being able to drink or stay hydrated in some way during the races is a foreign concept to you, because you don't usually take a sip of volleyball in the middle of a point. So you don't take a sip of water in the middle of a volleyball point. So
Right.
It's so what do you typically do when you know you're going to have one of those 90+ temperature, 90+ humidity track events, and inside the car it's even worse?
I've raced with people who will keep like some sort of water sack or whatever, Camelback or something in the car with them to try to drink out of it, or a drink bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I've attempted to do it one time. Like for me, I have to give myself a little disclaimer here because I'm a person who wears, if they say you need to have either a 3-layer suit or less than 3 layers with Nomex underwear, I wear a 3-layer suit and Nomex underwear and a balaclava, whether I have to have one or not. So it's tough for me to get like a drink tube in and out of my mouth in the car because I'm also rocking a full face helmet. So to me, like if I'm going to try to get the drink tube to my mouth, and like I know that there are people who can drill a hole or port for their drink tube and have it built into the helmet, but I've never done that because I'm cheap and lazy and from Alabama. So like a little hot drive is not going to bother me that much. So I say all that to say my hydration routine doesn't involve drinking in the car. I tried it one time with somebody else's drink tube, and I got a bunch of brackish, weird water, and I was like, that's it. I'm not trying to drink water in the car anymore. I'm just trying to win and drive fast. Like, not drinking this gross water. But people can successfully have drink tubes in the car if you can get the apparatus safely to your mouth and, whatever, like not wreck. That's great. It's not something that I do. My routine is, and also our team itself is not a team that ever runs cool shirts. We're just cheap and lazy, and we realize that almost every time somebody runs a cool shirt, at least the first time, they slosh so much water after they get called in because they think they're sloshing gas all over the track. So anyway, we're a path of least resistance team, and we're all from the south, so we don't worry about getting a little bit hot. What I do, and I think what most of my teammates do, is we will chug down a brick of Pedialyte or generic Pedialyte. Drink water all day. Like, drink water all day. Solidly keep drinking water. If you need to pee all the time the day of an endurance race, you're doing it right. Like, but you need to constantly be channeling fluids through your filter, which is your whole body. Just keep slamming water. If you're peeing clear, if your pee is clear all day before you're getting in the car, you're in good shape. For me, I like to mildly feel like I need to pee by the time I'm ready to jump into the car and get in there. So if I feel like I could sort of pee and I've chugged my entire brick of Pedialyte, I'm good, because by the time I get out and I've sweated, I'm ready for another, couple of bottles of water, but I'm not dying. Pedialyte, I guess, is some kind of deal. I'm not a scientist. Drink the Pedialyte. Don't drink the Pedialyte. Drink it in the car. But that's what I do. I survive. I get out. My lap time stay consistent, and I'm not in the car like, oh, God, I think I'm going to pass out. When we race, VIR, CMP, Barber, pretty hot places, Road Atlanta. So, that's my routine. But I back all that up by aggressively drinking water the entire time, and then just hitting something like a Pedialyte or Gatorade right before I get in the car. But I think Pedialyte's more concentrated. So it tastes weird. I get the purple ones or the orange ones, and I just gag them down and jump in the car.
Okay. Vicky and Jen, I know Jen got affected by the heat this weekend. What are your thoughts on the hydration and the keeping cool and keeping hydrated? How are you doing? And
I was drinking a lot. Like, I don't know. I don't know why I got so sick.
Oh, I've had it get me before. I think it was VIR in July. I was doing HPDE coaching all weekend, and I've been doing everything by the book. Drinking tons of water, drinking Gatorade, eating. Sometimes I'm bad about eating at the track, but I was like, hey, I got to be careful. And even with all that stuff, I'm trying to think. I think I had maybe I was in my early 30s when this happened, and I got sick, hurled all in my car on the way home. Luckily, it was already all gutted, and I just hosed it. It was all Gatorade and water anyway. And I just hosed it out when I got home. But yeah, I've gotten sick from heat exhaustion. I think heat stroke is a way more serious thing. But I got sick with heat exhaustion to the point where I was cold. It was hot as hell, but I was in my house huddled up with a fleece in front of the heater, and then throwing up. It made me sick for a couple of days. So I don't know if that was sort of like your experience, but I've had it get me that bad while I was doing everything you're supposed to do.
I mean, I was drinking a lot. I wasn't eating a lot though. And that might be it. I was just so hot. I wasn't even hungry. Nothing tasted good,
Yeah.
But thankfully it didn't happen, during the day. It was the very end on Sunday. So,
right.
I mean,
it only cost you the one stint where we didn't get to go anyway.
And they didn't even go out. Yeah. So yeah. I really didn't miss anything.
No.
Yeah.
What about you, Vicky? You suck at handling heat.
The heat doesn't really bother me as much, but it was stinking hot. At least Sunday starting out, we had a breeze over at Pitt, but towards the end of the day, when I thought that I had to actually remove my tires to adjust my shocks, I was looking at it going,
it doesn't need to be adjusted that bad, does it?
I know, and I'm sitting there looking, well, what do I know?
Nah, I'm good.
I'm looking at the tire going, I really don't want to do this because it's too much. It's fine. I ran this long on it. But yeah, I mean, we were drinking. The best thing was the popsicles, honestly. They were really good to have.
What flavor? What flavor were you doing?
Flavors.
All flavors.
Oh, so we're talking about green, purple.
The little
pink,
freezy pops, yeah.
Yeah, we had freezy pops. Every time the coaches were coming over, I was handing out freezy pops.
Slinging out those sanitized freezy pops. I like it.
Yeah, right. So
you bring up a really important point about kind of taking a look at what you need to do while you're at the track and whether it's worth doing, which includes going out for that third session, that last session, making that adjustment. If that adjustment is going to take you a bunch of effort, it's going to take your focus away from staying alive in your next track session, or reaching a goal. You have to always weigh whether something is worth doing at the track. Am I even going to notice this adjustment? Is this adjustment just me doing something to be doing something? Not saying that's your specific case, but just in general, people at HPDEs, track events or races, especially if you're thinking about is this thing going to put me over the line into being so fatigued I don't want to go out on the track anymore? There may be more benefit to just leaving your car alone and just going out the next time just to see what making no change did, or just see if you learned something different with a different driving approach. But sometimes you have to just protect your energy at the track because it's so mentally taxing while you're on the track, and it's so mentally taxing in the classroom, and you're stressing about, did I do this maintenance thing right? There's just so many things stressing you out at the track. If the last thing you want to try is some adjustment that may or may not make a difference, but may make you so fatigued you don't want to even go back out for your last session, it's worth weighing all of those things. But also, in general, if you're not 100% sure you want to go out for any track session, last one, first one, middle one, don't go out. Have you heard that advice before?
Well, I was wanting to take that advice because I really, really felt I couldn't go out on that last one, but I felt like I had to.
No, you don't have to. I mean, we all know that it takes a ton of money to do anything on a racetrack. You've paid a bunch of money to be there, and if you drop a session, you're dropping, if it's a one-day thing, you're dropping probably a quarter of the value of the day, or if it's a, 2-day session, you might be dropping an eighth of the value by skipping a session, whatever it is. But at that point, the value doesn't matter because it's just like going out, like collecting poisonous snakes for a science research or something like that. Like you can't be, fatigued and also trying to do something super dangerous. You have to make a choice. Either I can do this safely and stay alive, or
Well, it's not healthy, but it's also not fair to the other people on the track if you're not 100%.
For sure. That's you have to look outside of yourself as well. But definitely that's a great point, Jim. You have to just worry about the other folks who are trusting you with their lives on track.
I never thought we were going to start talking about collecting poisonous snakes for a science experiment, but you never know what you're going to get into with dominating with Dawson.
Well, it's funny. I didn't want to go into the whole thing, but I had a teacher. I went to Alabama School of Math and Science, and we had great teachers, and one of the people was a herpetologist who would go to Australia to collect tiger snakes, which are some multiple level more poisonous than whatever we have here, rattlesnakes or whatever. So these things bite you and you die. So their whole routine was, it was a team of this many people who go out, and if you went out you're supposed to be out for 10 hours, but if you went out and in the first hour one person on the team said I feel crappy, the whole team came home, because you needed the entire team to stay alive and to be watching each other's back. So if one person felt off for any reason, it was over. And that's always been, at least in the back of my mind, as far as approaching whether or not I'm fit to go out to run this track session. And also, here's another spoiler alert. I've never skipped a track session, but it's also just because I'm so horny for track time. I don't give a what is going on. I'm going to get out there. But that's not the case for everybody.
True. All right. So staying on hydration, the rule that we used to have when I played volleyball competitively was...
Ooh, is there video of this?
There is video, actually.
I've got it. Let's put this in the podcast episode notes, guys. Look for this in the description, at the bottom, something like that.
I haven't always been the shape of a volleyball. I actually used to play. So
I see it.
It was fun, actually. So the rule was stay hydrated to the point where you needed to pee at least every hour.
Yeah.
And if you got behind, it was almost impossible to re-catch up that weekend. So it doesn't matter. And the other thing we would typically do is we would do a 1-to-1. We would do one drink of like a sugary drink or a Gatorade type drink, and then one drink of just straight water, because you can't have too much of either, because one will take your electrolytes too high and one will take your electrolytes too low. And honestly, sometimes those sugary drinks, you just can't drink enough of it, because it starts getting that, you just don't want to drink anymore. And that's the
What was that?
It's like,
okay.
Just like that.
I thought I heard.
Yeah. It's a technical term. It's kind of like the material you use on a coffee cup to hold the handle to the mug is actually, the technical term is gooey. When you drink too much sweet fluids and it starts getting the flavor in your mouth that you just can't get rid of. It's like,
oh yeah, the Sprite loogie. The Sprite loogie you can't get rid of. Yeah.
Yeah, or the orange soda one. That one's really deep. So don't get behind in your hydration, because you'll never catch up. So
not catching up.
Not that weekend anyway.
Nope. Not that Monday either, probably.
No, not often. So stay hydrated, stay safe. Good words to live by.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody. We're coming.
Oh boy.
Always close your door.
It's Race Bar and Garage Heroes.
Race bar! Where's Ron Mexico? Here, I'll work on my camera. You call Ron because he told us to remind him. Hey, where are you?
I'm at home.
Are you gonna join?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got my computer set up and I'm waiting for it to.
How much longer is it gonna be?
Why is it not working?
Pat says, how much longer is it gonna be?
There's part of it. Got some of it now.
Oh yeah, now it says I'm just waiting for the host. So yeah. Exciting.
Yay. Says you're waiting for the host.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill has to let you in.
All right, I'm in. I think we're missing one person your way, one person our way.
Can you let Pineapples join?
Oh, sorry. I didn't see them in.
And Ron Mexico we can't get a hold of.
Oh, there's a Pineapples.
Oh my God, there she is.
Oh my gosh!
Hi, Jen.
Hi, how are you?
Oh my
I'm
God,
wait-
look at her hair.
I'm waving at you. You can't see me, but I'm waving.
Well, that makes sense.
This sucks. I don't know what's wrong.
Use your phone to do video. Do two of them at the same time.
Oh, I could do that. It's a little bit weird, but I could do that.
All right, so we had a discussion before you guys got on. Did we do the Fast and Furious questions with you guys or no? I don't think we did. Vicky thinks we
No, no,
Okay.
I don't think we did.
did. All right, very well. Haha. I love it when a plan comes together and I'm right. That's awesome.
Bill, I'm going to join with my phone so you can see me.
No, really, it's fine the way it is.
Okay. Oh.
Did you expect anything else from us?
I get to see yours.
They just put through an update on Zoom that's causing issues. So please bear with us. Oh, Jeff Kaplan's in. Oh, no.
Oh,
Jeff
He
Caplan.
just lost everything. Did I just admit him?
he vanished.
Yes, but what version of Jeff do we have?
I don't know.
We'll see.
Oh, there it is.
Hello.
Wow.
Hello
Most people don't shave after a race, but you've apparently done
for
something
you,
else
Bill.
to put that thing away.
Wouldn't be the first time he's been told that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Andy, did you like the video?
I haven't seen the video. What
Check your
video?
phone. Check your phone.
Okay. I'm trying to fix my camera at the moment, but
Oh no,
I
it's
can-
more important.
Yeah.
I can. Okay, hold on. One last time.
Hey Jeff, where's your race bar boudoir shot?
Oh, hang on a second. That's what I was working on. I don't think it was successful, but I was trying to work on it. That's what I was sending Andy. Let me download it and share my screen. You can. It's more of a video, so I don't think it's working. Oh, I can't share a screen.
No, because you're not the host.
You can share it in chat.
I guess I could post this.
Just do it.
Yeah,
Fine.
just throw it up on the internet.
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not? Are you sure they're ready for us? I mean, we really. The first time we did this was really amazing.
Also, just for the record, I'm wearing my hoodie, so I
Nice.
have race bar on.
I'm wearing my new one.
Oh my gosh, it looks so good.
Let's see. How do I need to get this. Hey, Bill, can I share my screen real
See,
quick?
usually I say no problem, but with you,
Oh, this is absolutely what you think it is. So
that's what worries me.
let's see. Andy, did you see it or no?
I did, and it is hilarious.
Wait, let me see.
Video? Oh my god.
All right, Bill's got to share, and I can do it.
I don't think I share. I think I make you host.
Oh, you don't want to do
That's
that.
a mistake.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I'm ready to share.
Well, the last time he was on, he had his underwear hanging from the top of a boat. So what could go wrong here?
Share. Here we go. Share. Where did it go?
It's coming. Okay.
Oh God.
I was told there'd be no math on this thing.
What do you guys see on my screen right now? Nothing?
I see everything.
We see, it looks like your iTunes and
Your cursor, your car.
your car.
Oh,
That's definitely not a race bar car.
there we go.
Oh my. I told you I didn't want to see this screen.
Wait, make the
Hold on,
audio.
wait
There's
for
no
it.
audio.
Wait for it.
He says, I am Ron.
Oh my.
It's like Sharon Stone in.
There it is. You got it.
Yeah. It's just like Sharon Stone.
Yes. Here's some more audio for you. Let's try that again.
I'm not sure I want any more.
great.
I'm pretty sure I don't want any more audio.
Can you see my screen and I'll show you another Ron Mexico thing?
Oh my.
All right. So how do I unshare this?
But-
Let me see.
You can't
Press
do it for-
control. I think I just did it. No, I don't want that. Let's see.
Stop sharing. Here we go. There we go.
There we go. Okay, we're getting there.
All yours. All yours.
Let me show you mine. Let me show you mine real quick.
I'll
All right.
Pat,
I have a Ron Mexico surprise that he
We're just
can't
gonna do
see.
this all night.
This is the entire podcast.
It's gonna
Okay.
be the weirdest podcast ever.
Hold on, I'm working on it. I gotta figure out how I did that once. Let's see. How did I do that?
This is about as bad as me walking around drunk at PIR interviewing people.
Oh my god, a cat!
That's Belle.
It's disabled.
Oh.
Another cat whose name's Taco.
Oh.
And
Trying. I figured
Oh my
out how to
god, Jen,
do it
how's
once.
your ribs?
okay, the Percocet ran out and I still can't lay down, but
Oh.
good.
Minor details.
it's fine. It's getting better every day.
This is
That's
awesome.
good.
It's telling me the host disabled video sharing.
Oh, I'm the host now.
Maybe it's
Wow.
doing it for me.
Oh yeah, Jeff's still the host.
Is
Jeff's
Jeff
the
still
host?
Oh,
Jeff, enabled screen sharing.
show it.
And,
So-
am I the host? Is that the
Yeah.
problem?
Yeah.
How do I do that? I don't know.
hate when that happens.
Multiple participants can share simultaneously. Try that.
Oh, that's scary.
Good. I like that. Now I see. What's
Oh, fantastic.
I thought it didn't get any worse, but maybe it does.
But it does.
Yeah, it seems to.
All right.
Awesome.
Well,
Well,
let me end the share.
all
How do I
right.
do it?
I'm gonna do this. I'm hosty. I'm trying to see. Oh, there she is. Okay, we'll let Vicky in now. I couldn't let her in until I was host again.
Was that her screaming at you?
No,
Oh.
no more than normal. All right, so there's that. There's that. You don't want to know what you just missed, Vicky.
I had just caught a glimpse. Can you hear me? Okay, I just caught a glimpse right before it disappeared.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's
Ah, nice.
the video is actually worse.
That
but,
is
Yeah.
freaking awesome.
one word for it, but okay.
So we doing Lucky Dog post Charlotte?
I love how Bill's head is moving up and down. It's like just bouncing.
Yep.
Hey, don't make me. I've got other things
Yeah,
we
I
can
think
do.
last time we did this, Jeff Caplan was again
No.
running around VIR.
No, that was definitely Ron Mexico.
Oh, that's Ron Mexico. Yeah, we did not have Patrick, and I believe